With just 101 days until November 5th, I like my prediction. I think it leans in Kamala Harris' direction. It's like kind of interesting to like both live this election and also kind of like reflect on it. Just all of like the twists and turns that have thus far constituted the 2024 election. I think that in hindsight, what we're gonna like realize is that the debate in June, or this debate before the convention, will be like a strategic mistake on both Donald Trump's part and on President Biden as well. For President Biden, it was obviously a catastrophic mistake because it just brought to the surface like how much Joe Biden had aged over the course of the last 4 years. Like we recognize that being president of the United States is one of the most stressful jobs on the face of the planet, if not the most stressful job. Um, in Donald, why it was a mistake on Donald Trump's part is because by agreeing to have this debate before the conventions, it like allowed the Democrats to pick someone else. And as someone who's like a moderate liberal, a liberal and moderate, you just understand that like it's no accident what happened. Like after the debate, there were 20 million like conversations in the moderate world, in the liberal world. What why I say that this election leans towards Kamala Harris's direction at this point is like what MAGA stand, what Donald Trump and his supporters have not realized is that like, or never really accepted, is you're not a majority of America. You're a very big minority, probably like 35 to 40% of America, but you are not the majority of America. Like America is like more diverse and like more complicated. Like most Americans are moderate to some extent. Like very few people are on either far end of the political spectrum. Um, and in order to win a majority, which winning the presidency requires, it requires building coalitions, and it just what ends up happening is that like the right can't really attract anyone else to their cause because they're doubling down on who you are, and like it's reflective in like Donald Trump's choice of a vice president, JD Vance. JD Vance adds absolutely nothing to the ticket. He's a loyalist. He's willing to kiss ass. He once said Trump was like America's Hitler, but now you go from thinking he's Hitler to like a great person. Like what a great transition in your thinking, Senator Vance. Um, but so like you like the people who were gonna vote for Donald Trump are gonna vote for Donald Trump. They're gonna show up to the polls, and that constitutes like 35, maybe 40. Like to get over 50, you have to attract other people like to your coalition, and like this is something that is both a strength and a weakness on the Democratic side. Is that like the Democrats basically include everyone else who's not included in that like 35 to 40%, including views that are contradictory to each other, like pro-Israel, pro like Palestinian. You have like people who are like weak on like abortion rights, and people who are like gun ho like me, 100%, no exceptions, like a 100% pro choice. Like a woman should be trusted to make the decision 100% of the time. Like that bullshit that Donald Trump like said at the debate, that there were like these hospitals that were like killing 9-month old fetuses. Where in America, name me an actual hospital, an actual doctor where they killed a 9-month fetus because the mom didn't want it. Like think about it. Like what woman like carries a newborn life in her womb for 5 months and then just decides, oh no, fuck, I changed my mind, I'm gonna get an abortion. And like what the right is really good at politicizing is numbers, because like, oh my god, there were like 500,000 like abortions, and it sounds like so astronomical. We're a country of 350 million people. That's like 1% of 1%. If 1% of 1% women have like a late term abortion, that makes sense. But the way that manipulate numbers is something that it's just is boggling. But anyway, so why I would say that Kamala Harris is like favored at this point is that like she has united both like the moderate and the progressive wing of like the Democratic Party. Like there are like what is called the Obama coalition or the Biden coalition for that shows up like to vote in presidential elections, not necessarily the midterm elections, but it constitutes like African American women, African Americans in general, single women, like the LGBT community, Asian Americans, like it's like piecing together that coalition. And Kamala Harris is in a much better position to do that because she can expand the map in a way that Donald Trump can't. And by Donald Trump refusing to like debate Kamala Harris, it only just empowers her. If Donald Trump refuses to debate Kamala Harris, what can she do? She can like fucking have like a cardboard standout of Trump and debate that, like, because it shows weakness. And what I think Donald Trump is going to realize is that like Kamala Harris is not Hillary Clinton. Like it is a completely different election, and that's why it's vice Kamala Harris is vice president, her election to lose. And I know there's been like lots of wrangling about like the choice of the VP slot. I know I initially said that that Senator Fetterman would make a good choice in to be the VP nominee. People pointed out his stroke, his like health risk could be like something that would be a drag on the ticket. And I still think that he would be a great choice. But I think the best choice is definitely Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. Like I think Harris Kelly ticket is the one that just completely annihilates Donald Trump and Vance on November 5th.